The pitches are so good. And I wanted to say hello to our panelists tonight who are joining us. And since Alex, you are in the top left-hand corner, we'll start with Alex from Equivesto. How you doing, Alex?
I'm doing great, Craig. Thanks for having me. I'm Alex Morsink, co-founder and managing director of Equivesto. Excited to be here and looking forward to seeing the great pitches.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Some of them I haven't heard yet, or some of them I haven't heard in a long time. So when we used to do things live. And Ted from Maple Leaf Angels, why don't you say hi and tell us a little bit about you?
Thanks, Craig. Great to be here. Yeah, my name's Ted Meehan. I am an angel investor and with Maple Leaf Angels. I sit on the membership and marketing committee as well and active in their office hours. I'm also one of the original employees at Porter Airlines in Toronto.
Fantastic. And we have one more judge introduced, Will Greenblatt from Out Loud Speaker School. How you doing, Will?
Hi, I'm doing good. My name is Will, CEO and co-founder of Out Loud Speaker School. We help entrepreneurs do pitch coaching. And yeah, I know I've heard a couple of these pitches at different times, and I'm excited to see the ones I don't know and hear the ones that I do and how they've updated as well.
Yeah, I'm excited too because some of these I haven't seen in a while, and some of them I haven't heard at all. But we've got some interesting. We'll get to them in a second, but I just want to tell everybody what to expect from the format. And I want everyone to stick around to the end because you are going to vote for the winner. You are in the audience, so please stick around because we need your help to choose who is the best pitch tonight. And we're going to tell you a little bit about the format. I'm going to introduce the startups in a second, and they're going to get about 20 seconds to introduce themselves, give you an idea what they do. Then we're going to go into the pitches. Each startup gets 5 minutes to pitch, and we're going to follow that with 3-minute Q&A from the panel. If you've got questions, throw them in the chat room, throw them in the YouTube live stream. Judge or myself may pick it up and throw it at the founder and see what happens. Or we may not. So they got 5 minutes to pitch with 3-minute Q&A. At the end, we'll throw up the voting screen so you get a chance to decide. And at the same time, we'll give them another 20 seconds to remind you why each of them are so great and why you should vote for them. Does that sound great? Hopefully it sounds good to me. So why don't we start with our first startup? Andie, the contact tracing, wait times, and lineup curbside services tool for consumers and businesses. Hello, Baba. How you doing? Tell us in 20 seconds why you're the best startup here.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Baba, and I am from Andie. We are an express service delivery platform. We originally started as a wait time tool, but we've expanded during the pandemic to help small businesses. And we're here today to share what we're doing in the hopes of getting the news out there so that you can tell every small business owner that you know why they should be on Andie. Thank you.
Great. Next up, we have Christopher from Green Apple Pay. Christopher.
Thanks, Craig. So if you're familiar with Simon Sinek's TED Talk, then let's start with our why. Organizations that need to fundraise are by definition providing services that make the world a better place. Green Apple Pay's mission is to help these types of organizations thrive and succeed. So if you align with our why, then you know why you should vote for us.
Fabulous. That's great. And Techstars alum, Founders Institute alum, Kyle from Faze. Kyle.
Hi, everyone. Glad to be here. Kyle Collier, founder and CEO of Faze, and we're a digital prepaid payment rail for neobanks, digital wallets, and fintech companies. Why we should be the best startup? That's a loaded question, but we're really here to help kind of small businesses enable more people to discover their companies using prepaid digital gift card technology.
Fabulous. And we have one more company, Aman from Nava Ventures, hot off their win from Startup Canada's big pitch competition. I think it was in November. Tell us about Nava Ventures.
Hi, my name's Amin. I'm a co-founder at Nava Ventures and the head of sales and marketing. Nava Ventures is a SaaS company that offers an ecosystem of socially responsible fintech products to credit unions. Our products assist with member engagement, retention, and increased liquidity. Vote for us if you want an impactful banking experience.
That was great. Fantastic. I like the 20-second summaries. I think we're going to have a hard time choosing who's going to win. I hope you guys are all ready for some great pitches, and we'll get into it. So let me switch our view here so everyone is seeing what I'm seeing. And we're going to start with Baba. So, Baba, do you want to step up and get your slides ready?
Just give me a second here to share my screen. And screen share. All right. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. So just give me a second here. Okay. Yep. Okay, there we go. So like I said before, the name of the company is Andie, and Andie is an express service delivery platform. As you may or might have known by now, small business and technology before the pandemic was rather simple. If you went to any small business, they minimally used technology. We spoke to about 1,000 Canadians last summer, and we realized the most advanced technology at any small business was a POS machine. Some of them considered using Excel spreadsheets to be technologically savvy, but we told them that wasn't the case. A lot of them never used online methods such as Facebook or Instagram to interact with their customers. Take all of this and then you put in the pandemic. When the pandemic happened, it could have been the worst thing to happen to small businesses that weren't using technology. As of today, about 100,000 businesses in Canada have closed as a result, because once the pandemic happened, they weren't able to start serving their customers online. They had to shut down their business. They had to either try to say, hey, let's create a website, let's figure things out, which created delays and they couldn't get online. A lot of the ones that were also able to stay open and were in digital started facing problems when it came to delays, lineups, and long waits. As you may have known by now, if you go outside during the pandemic, expecting long lineups is something that's become more of a norm. And we started talking to customers and asking them, what are you comfortable with right now? 70% of the people we spoke to said they will be shopping post-pandemic online. Another 27% told us from the first week of the pandemic, they made that jump and they've recognized that going forward, they don't want to ever wait in a lineup. They don't want to ever wait for a service delay. They want to be able to get their service experience as soon as possible. So with this huge customer shift, we began to ask ourselves, how can we bring small businesses into the online technology space in a short amount of time? How can we make sure the businesses that have to create websites, manage websites, and also then run their business don't have to worry about that headache, but they can be able to stay open during the pandemic, which is why I present to you Andie. Andie is everything a small business needs to be able to deliver an express service experience using technology in the time of a pandemic, as well as going forward. We define Andie as a customer facing co-pilot for any small business because it consolidates all the technology you need to be able to adequately serve your customer base. That includes everything. Oops. That includes everything from guest management. So being able to have your customers go into an online link, choose when they want to come into your business, or when they come into your business, being able to check in them in with our contact tracing too, as well as our digital our digital check-in infrastructure, which allows you to know who came into your business when they came in. Andie also grew out of a wait time tool, like I mentioned earlier, which means we offer small businesses traffic control. We let you use AI to tell your customers when they can come in, either automatically or using your own user input to say, hey, we're running late by 15 minutes. We can't serve you right now. So come back in 20 minutes time. And we also let these businesses allow their customers to pre-order and prepay in a way that everything rolls into one segment and everything all flows in one direction, where you can prepay for your product, know when you're going to get that product, go in, check in, give the business your name. So if you were to come in contact with someone who has COVID, for example, they can then check in with you after and say, hey, Greg, you came in contact with someone, please protect yourself. Our focus is on making sure that before, during, and after, as well as anytime, a business that's a small business and their customers can interact together without requiring the small business to create their own website. So we take over all that technology, and you as a small business owner, you focus on just doing what you do best, which is running your business. In terms of our early traction so far, we have 4,000 users plus on our mobile and web application. Our wait time tool, which I mentioned was the beginning of this, It has about 85,000 visits on a monthly basis. And as of early March, we'll cross the 1 million wait time prediction mark. Our wait time average is about 1.6% error return rate, which is the rate of people going somewhere saying, hey, I got a forecast for 10 minutes, but it was actually 25 minutes. So it's about 1.6% of what we've processed so far. When it comes to the small businesses we've partnered with, we currently have 24 of those, and they range from dealerships to lots of the essential businesses that have been open during the second and third lockdowns. In terms of our weekly average usage on the user side for the app, we have about 4.57 sessions per user per week. And the locations that we cover with our automated wait time tool, we have 3 million locations, both in the United States as well as in Canada.
And time is up. Thank you very much.
Wow.
That was great. All right, who wants to open up, judges?
Thanks. Yeah, I'll hop in with the first question if that's all right, Craig. Baba, fantastic pitch. Could you tell me a little bit more about the pricing model for the businesses? Because I assume that's who pays.
Yes, so the businesses pay for the product, and our pricing is what we call a flex pricing. So we charge between $5 and $25 a month, depending on which of our features you activated. And after that, we also now charge you a per use fee. So for example, if you're using our check-in tool, it's 10 cents per check-in, in addition to the fixed fee per month. We also offer a freemium starter plan, which allows each business to be able to get value from each of our products before they commit to a longer term paying arrangement.
Did you say $5 per business?
Between $5 and $25 per month for each business.
Wow, that's very affordable.
Yeah,
that's
cool. Our goal is to help small businesses, especially right now when we know it's a pandemic, they need technology, and we don't want to burden them with things that are unnecessary. So we've been able to make sure the product has something for everyone.
Yeah, I was expecting 2 more zeros and after that 5. So that's fantastic.
Of the 4,000 users you got, of those companies, or how is it the 24 small businesses that you've got? And if so,
so the 4,000 users are actually end consumers. So they're everyday people like you and I. And then the 24 are the actual businesses that are partnered with us.
And what's the MRR from those 24?
So right now we're not charging those revenue because they were part of our beta sign up program, which we started in January.
What would you say, sort of post-pandemic, what would you say is the best use cases or the best applications for something like this, when hopefully things go back to some semblance of normal and the wait times and capacity limits are relaxed?
So post-pandemic, we see this as an alternative for those people who don't want to run their own technology. So a lot of the small businesses we interview regularly, they don't want to manage a website. That's why they haven't created a website for the last 20 years. So we see that use case as being, if you're a business and you want to offload your technology and your customer front facing, we would be that platform for you. And that's the biggest use case. Alternatively, we also are seeing a uptick in, especially within the medical sector, that was using this when they were open for the guest management tools, because right now, if you're going into a dental office, you have to book the appointment the old-fashioned way, but that's also disjointed from them being able to follow up with you afterwards, as well as confirm further visits or consultations that you may want to go through. So we see this as something where in those segments, the feedback from them is they want to use this as sort of a central tool, since it has everything they need in one place, and they can just say, hey, I'm going to Andie to manage my entire customer guest flow.
Yeah, if Ted's done, I'll hop in too. I just want to reiterate, great job, Baba. And it's like there's been so many iterations I've seen of this. It's incredible to watch you guys pivot again and again and just find, more and more of what you are able to do. I just have one sort of piece of advice as a pitch coach. I would say for your problem statement, I think you spend a little bit too much time on the problem that we kind of all know exists with the pandemic. And I would be a lot more interested to get to the solution a little quicker, because the problem is kind of clear to all of us as we sort of, as consumers and shoppers and stuff. So I'd love to see you get in, especially for the time frame we didn't get to some of your other stuff. But that's my only kind of piece of feedback. I think the other two asked the questions that I was wondering.
Will brings up a good point, though. The other two things that come to mind that I think would be very worthwhile in the pitch is to be very clear and direct about what you feel your sort of unfair advantage is over competitors. And although you may get to it, but we ran out of time, is how investors will make money, or what the scale up plan and the rollout plan is, because that will be a question that will come to, along with any terms or arrays that you're asking about.
All right, that was great. Thank you very much. Bobby, can you stop sharing so we can get ready for Christopher from Green Apple Pay?
Wait. There we go. Sorry, too many screens.
That's quite okay. Christopher, are you ready?
Right, share.
Looking good.
Can you see it all right?
Yep.
Great. My name is Christopher Tufford, and I'm the founder and CEO of Green Apple Pay, the future of digital fundraising. Green Apple Pay is a digital fundraising platform to help organizations like charities, teams, schools, and churches generate steady recurring revenue by making it seamless for stakeholders to contribute through their normal everyday spending. We're like a cashback credit card for organizations that fundraise. The problem is every year these organizations lose out on millions of dollars in donations as their old-fashioned fundraising activities do not align with their stakeholders' participation and spending habits, and COVID-19 has obviously highlighted this problem. Compounding the issue, you have sub-problems like a simple and automated digital solution like Green Apple Pay hasn't existed for organizations. Traditional offline fundraising is impossible now during the coronavirus pandemic, and much of society in general and younger generations, specifically like millennials and Gen Z, are predominantly cashless. Green Apple Pay helps these organizations tap into those millions of lost contributions with new digital revenues produced through spare change and cashback rewards from their stakeholders' everyday spending. What differentiates Green Apple Pay is we use banking APIs that tracks user spending to generate the commissions and revenue automatically without the need for constant user engagement. Stakeholders sign up once and never need to do anything after that to keep supporting the organizations that they care about. With our simplified tracking and reporting, organizations can focus on building relationships with their stakeholders. We provide fundraising that's simple, automated, and recurring. So let me show you exactly how this works. So organizations create an account on Green Apple Pay and inform the stakeholders they're supporters of the new digital platform for earning donations. Stakeholders can register their bank accounts and their everyday spending is tracked virtually to generate contributions to their chosen organization via spare change and cashback rewards. We make this really easy for organizations through our streamlined onboarding and support. We give organizations a template to succeed. Let's discuss the revenue model and how it all works. Transaction rounding can be done anywhere you shop. You're at Starbucks purchasing a latte for $4.50 and the transaction is rounded up to $5, creating a donation of 50 cents in spare change, of which Green Apple will earn about 15 cents. Next, you have the monthly add-on, which is a simple way for supporters to top up their monthly contribution. In this example, an extra $20 is given and Green Apple Pay earns about $4. Lastly, we have cashback rewards. Whenever a stakeholder shops at a retail partner of Green Apple Pay, they pay us a commission on all tracked spending. In this example, a $50 purchase generates a 5% cashback reward, creating a donation of $2.50 for the organization, of which Green Apple Pay will keep about 50 cents. The total addressable market in North America is huge. There are over 4 million organizations in the verticals we'll target, and they have over 800 million stakeholders, and they generate well over 500 billion in transactions. For illustrative purposes, I've broken up the competition into two categories: direct competition of fundraising platforms and indirect competition of the finance apps. So the first thing you'll notice is of the fundraising platforms, Green Apple Pay is the only one capable of generating revenues through all three revenue streams. The purpose of including the finance apps in this chart is to make you aware that this level of integration already exists in the marketplace for cashback rewards. Of course, they only work for individuals, not collectively for an organization. What needs to be highlighted here is that Green Apple Pay wants to bring the simple, automated, and recurring functionality of drop-in acorns to the fundraising vertical. This is what millennials and Gen Z expect and are comfortable with. It represents the new standard for fundraising, not just during a pandemic, but for the future beyond COVID-19. Customer acquisition strategy is top-down, and we are B2B to C company. We add customers B2B, but we activate and monetize them B2C through their stakeholders. We use a direct sales team for business development and add organizations as we drive user activation with the help of our customer success team. It's the best of both worlds for a SaaS platform because it provides lower customer acquisition costs, but higher lifetime values because every organization we onboard in turn activates hundreds or even thousands of their supporters. I'm a serial entrepreneur and left college after 2 years to start my first business. I've had success in a variety of unrelated markets, from telecom to iGaming. We have an experienced team with a track record of success in startups and building technology platforms. Many of our team worked with Darren building the platform that Fuse powered before it was acquired by a US company in a $50 million deal. Afterwards, Gary and Tamuri joined Darren at another iGaming startup. After Fuse, Lauren became employee number 7 and the product manager at Coho, the Canadian fintech sensation. She's been pivotal in guiding our MVP and training Manny to become our product manager. So join us. Green Apple Pay has a massive opportunity to chart the path of organizational fundraising for the next decade. My name is Christopher Tufford, and I'm the founder and CEO of Green Apple Pay, the future of digital fundraising.
Very nice. It was a little time to spare. Excellent. Panelists, who wants to jump in?
Sure,
Go ahead, Ted.
Christopher, great pitch, very succinct, to the point, well polished. Can you just confirm when a company signs up and then people download the app, is that the only thing they have to do? Is it then any subsequent purchases goes to the not-for-profit or the charity or whoever is an advisor stakeholders? Is that seamless?
Yeah, it is, Ted. So we onboard the organization. Then we help them activate their support base. And then after the supporters have created an account and activated the settings in their account, it's kind of set it and forget it after that. They can just go on and live their life, and we sort of take care of the rest in the background.
And what's the traction been to date? Have you got a number?
So we're just getting ready to launch our beta. We've got 5 or 6 organizations signed and ready to go. There's a couple of higher profile organizations, which unfortunately I can't share here tonight, but we're looking to onboard those 6 and over the next couple of months and just prove out everything that we did in our closed beta testing.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, my question was sort of half answered by Ted's question and your answer, Christopher, but it was kind of more just getting a little more specific around the user activation. So there's no strategy for you to go after end users that are looking to support an organization. It's basically you go after the companies and then help them activate their existing user base. Is that correct?
That is correct. So we believe that that's a stronger activation story, because I think that people are more likely to be engaged in these kinds of charitable causes and donations and creating these accounts and giving back and paying it forward and all the other terms that you use. If they're doing it for somebody else, I'm much more likely to do this for my son or for some other organization that I care about than I am for myself, because $20 a month back to me doesn't mean much, but $20 back times 100 people pooling it together can make a big difference for an organization.
Right. Yeah, and then there's no kind of plan to create sort of a two-sided marketplace for like people looking for donations and organizations who need that. It's mostly for, and do you guys have like a proprietary system where you help their existing supporters go digital in this way? Do you guys have a specific?
To answer your first question a little bit, I do believe we're going to create a little bit of that sort of self-fulfilling prophecy in terms of the networking, because I think what will happen is somebody will get onboarded through our system by one organization that they care about, that they're dealing with, and then they're going to realize, oh, this would be really good for something else that they're involved with, and they're going to bring it to that other organization. And we've built into the platform so that people can manage donations to multiple organizations at the same time, splitting it up and turning them on and off, because maybe they support one all year and something else only 6 months. And then what was the second part?
Sorry, yeah, no, I asked you 2 questions there. It was, so I can see that would maybe help with the sort of the total transactional volume if there was multiple organizations and new users coming in.
Oh,
and then the second part was about how you
activate. We also plan on having building a customer success team in-house so that we can learn and work with all of the organizations and then use best practices from organizations that are having a lot of success, activating their stakeholders, and then taking that information and sharing it with the other similar types of organizations. So if one sports team is having a lot of success, you can do it with that. And a church is having a lot of success, we can share it with other churches. And we have an animal-based nonprofit, we can share it with them, that type of stuff.
Cool, thank you.
Floating tide floats all boats, right? rising tide floats all boats.
One last quick question for you, Chris, and great presentation. I was wondering if you assist the different charities with any sort of tax benefits for the individuals providing the donation, or that remains the responsibility of the charities receiving the funds?
Yeah, so we haven't built it in yet, but we anticipate doing that for the end of this year, for the next tax year next year. I mean, we have all the data, so helping registered charities who can offer tax receipts, being able to automate that process for them. Yeah, we expect to be able to do that as a value add to the platform.
Yeah, because I know traditionally they sort of do it on a per transaction basis, but if you're having somebody send in, 20 cents every transaction for the month, then there's, a million receipts instead of just one. Okay,
yeah,
great.
They'll be able to register that kind of stuff in the database in their account on the platform, and then we'll be able to see that. And if they've got a charitable number, we can just spit out the total amounts for all of their donors that year.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, that was great. Thank you, Christopher. If you could stop sharing, we can get Kyle from Faze up here. Thank you, Christopher. That was great. Kyle, there we are. Yeah, that was great. And we're going a little long on questions, which is okay. I think we'll just change that for next time. We'll add an extra minute on the Q&A part. And let us know when you're ready, Kyle.
I'm ready to go. Do you see my slides?
Yes, I do.
Great. Hello, everyone. I'm Kyle Collier, founder and CEO of Faze, a digital prepaid payment rail for neobanks and digital wallet companies. There we are. Digital wallets and neobanks now hold more than 93% of the world's non-physical currency. They all aspire to be all digital, branchless, global banks. But here's the thing, less than 1% of them actually go global, since they cannot provide users in new countries with a way to spend their digital money. Typically, this is done by launching a prepaid debit card, but those cards can only be issued to people within that specific country. These are very expensive and they take months to actually go live. But Faze, we offer an alternative. We provide unique superpowers that enable companies to go live with just a few lines of code globally in a compliant way. Our prepaid payment rail enables users to spend in more than 80 countries. Now, does this sound too good to be true? Well, Faze is already live and growing at about 46% month over month. And last month alone, we've done over $740,000 in gross transaction volume and have more than 25 large customers in our pipeline. Now, our technology does all the heavy lifting, and that's why it's trusted by billion-dollar companies like Crypto.com, enabling over 10 million users to spend any form of digital money in 3 easy steps. First, they just select from whatever country they want to spend in. Next, they choose from thousands of brands or something universal like a prepaid digital Visa, MasterCard, or a UnionPay credit card. Then within seconds, they receive a digital code, QR code, or barcode that they can use within seconds at the point of purchase. Now, there are a lot of other companies that could benefit from this type of technology. Yet today, Faze is laser focused on supporting neobanks and digital wallets. Based on our internal data, we know this is more than a $54 billion opportunity alone. Where if Faze acquired a mere 50 customers, we could capture up to $1.3 billion in prepaid transactions. Now, one of our unique superpowers is that brands actually pay us an average of 5% per transaction, enabling our company to effectively make money cheaper. For example, if you want to spend $1,000 with a digital prepaid Visa, it only costs us $950. And with a value proposition like that, it's why we've been able to recruit some of the best and brightest people to work at Faze. Now myself, I've built multiple tech companies. I've sold one, I've helped scaled others to 6-figure revenues. Where my fellow executives have worked for neobanks and digital wallets and truly understand the value of the Faze solution. Now to summarize, Faze makes digital money globally spendable, and we encourage you all to join us on our mission to accelerate the world's transition to digital spending. Thank you.
That was great. Lots of time to spare. Excellent.
I
Who
like to
wants
keep
to
it
jump
short
in
and
on
sweet.
this? Yeah.
So I'll go with the first question. Thanks, Kyle, for a fantastic presentation. That was very good.
Thank you.
I was wondering how you handle some of the anti-money laundering, anti-terrorist financing provisions that are put on financial, fintech companies, specifically with payments, especially given that you're essentially taking crypto and turning it into, prepaid gift cards and stuff, which is also a little bit rife with some challenges there.
Yeah, great question. We get this a lot. So essentially, our technology, we work directly with the fintech company ourselves. So we never touch end user cryptocurrency or any transaction like that. We work in all fiat, and it's all prepaid from the business. So we never touch consumer funds or crypto. That part is entirely their transaction with the end consumer. So we never touch consumer funds. So that's one thing. Ultimately, the compliance falls on them. But what we provide is a simple way using technology to essentially identify and limit when there could be an issue with a customer if they want to enable it. Is again, we're a technology provider. We provide ways to simplify these processes and make them go live faster, globally quicker. But again, it's ultimately their responsibility, and they can kind of use bits and pieces from Faze as they feel fit.
Okay, thanks.
Who else wants to jump in on this?
Yeah, I thought you did a fantastic job, Kyle. And again, I've worked with you a bunch on this, and it's really great to see it starting to simplify and really come together. One thing I would just be curious about from an emotional perspective, we sometimes talk about the different types of audience members, the people who are logically minded, numbers minded, and sort of human empath and visionary minded. I would just be curious about if there is an end user story that makes life better for all people kind of somewhere in there. And if so, what's that vision to sort of make the world better? When I see transition to digital spending, I'd be curious to know what would get like end users really excited about this big idea.
Yeah, it's a great point. And touching on Will's point, the real value to the end user is just being able to get some kind of tangible dollar amount within seconds. I guess that's probably the first one. And then really at a cost that's possibly cheaper than the value of the money you're receiving itself. For example, one of our superpowers is that we get effectively a discount off of money. And if that is shared with the user, maybe giving them rewards or points or cash back or any of these types of things, because we're enabling these cheaper, global, faster transactions for the fintech companies themselves, if they want to share some of that value with the end user, that's entirely possible. Whereas with previous solutions and doing transactions with prepaid debit cards, where they have all these upfront costs and overheads, typically those things are not possible.
Right. Great
Question, though.
Yeah.
Kyle, I thought that was a great presentation. I really liked how right up front, I think there was a great articulation of the problem statement, and I like your how you classify, as it as a superpower. I think that comes across as really clear. But just one quick question about to what extent does the regulatory environment in each of the countries that somebody may use this, or that the transactions pass through, does that have an impact at all on how you make money or your ability to grow or scale?
Yeah, great question. So essentially what we do from a compliance standpoint is we look at all the countries that we support. We say, okay, these are the digital limits that you can issue in a per hour, per day, per user, per month, whatever it is basis. And we essentially use technology to say, hey, company X, we can tell you if you have a reporting requirement or if you have a KYC requirement for these users. If you want to stay under that, we essentially just provide the visibility to these companies. So if they want to, provide, very few transactions, for example, like $100 to an end user, they may not have a reporting requirement depending on their country. But if at the same time, if they want to do, tens of thousands of dollars in these transactions per day, we'll tell them, hey, you have a reporting requirement to this regulatory body. And we just kind of make that simple and transparent for them. Ultimately, the compliance does fall on them. We just kind of bring it more to light for them.
Great, thank you.
Great pitch, Kyle. I really appreciate it. Yeah, very well done and succinctly put together. If you can stop sharing, and we'll get them on up here, fresh off the Startup Canada SDG pitch competition win, and from Nava Ventures.
Fantastic. Is everyone able to see my screen?
Looks great.
Before I start, I want to have a moment of silence for all the credit might shut down over the next few years. Banking is changing. Back in the day, baby boomers valued relationships with their financial institution. So when a baby boomer found that one institution they liked, they stayed there their whole life. Unfortunately, credit unions got used to baby boomers never moving their funds and failed to increase technological innovation. As baby boomers age, they'll leave over $30 trillion to the younger generation. This next generation isn't like the baby boomers. They switch from financial institutions based on technological innovation and social impact. This is the current landscape for financial institutions in Canada. Credit unions are losing the battle of member engagement and retention. Some big banks generational wealth transfer and did a better job over the years to try and innovate. Credit unions, however, struggle to attract the new generation. They're at risk of not capturing the wealth transfer, and currently they lose members daily to the big banks. At Nava Ventures, we're a software as a service offers an ecosystem of socially responsible fintech products to credit unions. In addition to doing good for the planet, our products assist with member engagement, retention, and increased liquidity. We help credit unions compete with big banks. And we interviewed credit union executives. It is difficult to recruit tech talent to build solutions in-house. Unions find it hard to create a sticky ecosystem to help their members achieve financial wellness. And right now, their best source of growth are mergers and acquisitions. North American credit unions have over $3 trillion in assets under management. Canada alone, $250 billion, and is our initial target market. We are scalable and plan to expand to the States. Right now, we have over 10 credit unions in the pipeline. I've secured 2 letters of intent from them to launch a paid pilot program with us later this year. At Nava Ventures, we're going to offer a sticky ecosystem of socially responsible products that will help both the credit union and their members. With our arsenal of products, credit unions will be equipped to rise above the big banks. Meet Navi is our market entry product. It empowers members to make socially responsible financial decisions. The union execs told us that they see deep value in Meet Navi and can see it helping member financial wellness, retention, engagement, and help increase liquidity. More importantly, Meet Navi was also recognized nationally by Startup Canada for its ability to impact an individual's socioeconomic status. We were awarded first place in the Sustainable Development Goal Pitch competition for poverty reduction. And it turns out that this next generation actually cares about the environment, and they're twice as likely to invest in companies or funds like credit unions that target specific social or environmental outcomes. We've user tested Meet Navi at every stage and have some remarkable quotes to show for it. My personal favorite is the second one. Other banks don't have anything like this. And a level set here, we offer an ecosystem of products. Aspiration is our closest competitor to Meet Navi, our first product. Meet Navi is different because it uses machine learning to provide personalized guidance to credit union members. Also, Aspiration does not invite member collaboration. We have a B2B2C business model. Credit unions pay for our products so that their members can use them for free. Nava Ventures is going to put credit unions on the map, one socially responsible product at a time. And together, we will help them surpass the big banks and do better for the planet. And the best part is we have the team together. Eugene Faru is our CEO. He worked at Boeing in the predictive analytics department and recently taught cybersecurity at the British Columbia Institute of Technology. We have over 30 years of combined engineering experience and have members who are experts in AI and transaction processing. We've completed our MVP, but need $250,000 to execute on our paid pilot program. With the raise, we'll complete our security story and have room for marketing costs. We'll hit our milestone of launching later this year. Recently, we were shortlisted for Dragon's Den. We won a global pitch competition that oversaw more than 200 applicants by placing first in the finance category, nominated for Coast Capital's Venture Prize competition in the digital category, and we've been shortlisted for Spring Activator's Impact competition. Credit unions are uniquely positioned to become an industry leader in socially responsible banking. And now you have a choice. Keep the status quo and watch the big banks take over, or partner with us and empower credit unions to make the world a better place. Invest in us for short-term member satisfaction and long-term generational impact.
Thank you. That was really good, except we had some sound breaking up issues. So I hope the judges have ready to ask some questions to clear up any stuff they may have not heard properly. And audience, if you have any questions, throw them in the chat room. Who wants to start?
I'll hop in. Aman, thanks for a fantastic pitch. There was a bit of, as Craig mentioned, a bit of sound issues, but I think we got everything that you're saying really, really well. I wanted to ask a little bit more about specifically the business model and the pricing structure for the credit unions. Obviously you have several LOIs lined up that you want to execute on. Could you sort of tell me more about that? And potentially one question is, why wouldn't one of the credit unions sort of offer you some financing for the LOI, given it's from them? But you don't have to answer that question.
Sounds good. So we have flex pricing based on the size of the credit union, and it's credit unions pay us on a monthly subscription basis. They purchase the minimum users per month, and this is billed out annually.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Hey, Aman, why don't you think banks are doing this? What do you think your sort of competitive moat is when it comes to this?
So foundationally, banks emphasize shareholder value and to improve the shareholders' value. And they don't more so have members, it's more so customers. And that's what we've discovered from our over 250 plus interviews that we've conducted over the past year. Credit unions themselves, their shareholders are their members. So by improving the shareholder value, we're effectively improving their member value at the end of the day.
Okay. And what would you say the market size of this is, like with respect to credit unions and the attractiveness to millennials?
Yeah, so we've done a little research, and in the digital banking market, it's a $380 billion market itself. That only includes our first realm of products. That's not including the ones later that we hope to achieve through wealth management and et cetera.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, and my question is also about the business model. Great pitch, by the way, really, really solid. And I think you made up for the mic issues by having great speaking skills, really strong voice, and good delivery, and also a beautiful slide deck. So well done. Yeah, my question also is on the business model. I think I lost it a bit in Alex's question, but yeah, I'm still a little confused as to what the actual revenue model is with the credit unions.
Sounds good. So for example, each credit union purchases a minimum amount. Let's say that's 100. They can give access to up to 100 credit union members, but as soon as it exceeds that, they'll be charged per member on that basis. So for us, we have security on our end, where we have reoccurring revenue each month, which it's known, and we capture the upside in case more members want to use our products.
Okay, great. Yeah, and I'm wondering if you have any particular sustainable development goals in mind that your company stands for, because I know there's like 20 or something. I can't remember how many, but are there a couple that you guys really believe in strongly?
Yeah, so foundationally, right off the bat, we tackle carbon emission, but more importantly, we focus on financial inclusion. The United Nations have identified 17 sustainable development goals. And with our focus in financial inclusion, we target 8 out of the 17 sustainable development goals. And we're also recognized by Startup Canada in the poverty reduction category with our application Meet Nava in itself.
Cool. Yeah. I just say, again, just as a bit of feedback, I would make that if there's a place for that in the pitch, when you talk about, the number of millennials who want to invest in ethical brands and make ethical decisions as investors. I would just make that a little more clear, like which particular of those SDGs that you guys are really, really passionate about, just to make the story a bit more compelling.
Sounds
Great
good.
job, though. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, that was exciting. Now we're going to get down to the fun part where we're going to ask the audience to choose a winner, to choose who had the best pitch here tonight. And why don't we do one more round? I've launched the poll. You can see it there. I've asked the people on YouTube Live, and we're going to go one more time just so you remind everyone who you are. Baba, why don't we start with you? 20 seconds. Why should they vote for Andie? We can't hear you. You're muted.
In 20 seconds, you should vote for Andie because we've helped save 1.2 million lives during the pandemic by keeping people safe when you go to essential businesses. We are also recognized by the government of Ontario. So if you love small business and you want the economy to get back running, then Andie is your vote.
Fantastic. Next up, Christopher.
Thanks a lot, Craig. I appreciate your time and the judges' time and their questions. And thanks to the rest of the pitchers tonight. Great job, everybody. It's a pretty simple thing. And we're not the only one in here tonight, obviously, doing social responsible stuff. We're trying to make the world a better place. If you sort of align with that why of ours, then we're the choice.
That would be Green Apple Pay, by the way.
Green
and
Apple Pay.
Kyle, Faze. Why should people vote for Faze?
Well, we make digital money globally spendable. So, as hard as we have it during this pandemic, imagine all the people that don't even have access to bank accounts that may be receiving money overseas from family members and need to spend it locally. We enable that experience for over 10 million people today.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And that was Faze. And last but definitely not least, Aman from Nava Ventures. Why should people vote for you?
Thank you so much. So you know what your current banking experience is like. And if you want to change that, the power's in your hands right now. You can change the way you bank, and you can have an impact on your community while you bank smarter. Thank you.
Now, that was great. We look like we have 55% people have voted already. We're waiting for a few more. Bunch of people are voting still. That's awesome. But while we're waiting for them to finish up, why don't we thank our panelists and start with you, Will. Tell us any final words, and where can people find you if they're looking for more?
Just final words. It's really exciting to see this kind of stuff still happening even during the pandemic. I miss startup drinks so much and getting to see entrepreneurs out there and pitching. This was a very high quality tonight. Like, this is, I think, the strongest startup face-off I've seen. Everybody had such a good pitch in such great shape. For me, if you guys are interested, I run a pitch boot camp called the Powerful Pitch Boot Camp, where Kyle's gone through it, and it's basically goes every month, and we do 3 sessions, although we might switch to 4 sessions. And it's a place to come and work on your pitch from a story perspective, and work on it, whether it's an investor pitch or whether you just want to get your story out there to a wider market. And it's cheap and affordable, and you can meet other great entrepreneurs and work with them. So I'll just put the link to it in the chat.
And Ted, where can people find you, and parting words from a Maple Leaf Angel?
Yeah, no, I think that was great. I was really impressed by all the pitches. As Will said, the quality was really, really high. I think everybody was, clear, concise, well-spoken, and confident in what they're saying. And I think that really goes a long way to delivering a strong and successful pitch, that whether you're just pitching to people for their awareness, or you're pitching for money, it goes a long way to having people sit up and take notice. So great job, everybody. Really, really good. If people are interested in going through the Maple Leaf Angels process, the website is just Maple Leaf Angels, and there's links to apply there. Or anybody can reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to kind of help them walk through the process. So thanks a lot again. It's great.
And Alex, why don't you any parting words, and where can people find out more about you and Equivesto?
Yeah, so thanks again to all of the pitchers and the panelists. Yeah, I echo what everyone has said, that this was a really strong cohort. Fantastic job, everyone. Really well done. I was very impressed. If you want to learn more about equity crowdfunding on Equivesto and how you can either invest in exciting startups like these ones, or raise money for your startup, you can head to equivesto.com. There's lots of information there, or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, Alexander Morsink. Happy to chat.
Great. And the final votes are in, and I'm going to share the poll. And it looks like we had a last minute vote change because it looked early on the results for someone else. The winner is Faze with 39% of the votes. Good job, Kyle. Second place was Green Apple Pay. And just for the record, we had 2 more votes coming in from YouTube Live for Faze as well. So that just solidified your lead. Great job, Kyle. Any parting words from the winner?
I learned everything I know from Will.
Great product placement.
He was already in great shape when he came to me, but that's awesome. Well done, Kyle.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for everything. I've spent a lot of time on the pitch. I've gone through Techstars Founder Institute. I've worked there. So I do teach a lot of this myself as well. So maybe came in with a little unfair advantage. All of these other pitches were amazingly strong. Congratulations to all of you. Personally, I liked the Navi pitch more than my own. So I'm personally going to update mine to be a little bit more like yours. I thought it was it gave me chills, and I've the hundreds of pitches I've heard, I've never really felt that way through a pitch. So instead of consolation, I voted for you. I didn't use my vote for myself.
Honestly, thank you so much. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. And,
I'm just being honest.
I DM'd you, and yeah, I'd love to connect later as well. Thank you.
Certainly. That it sounds like we're going after the same customers.
And that's great. Anybody needs connections here, just message me and I'll happily to do that. I'll send out an email in the next couple of days to everybody who registered so you can check out with all the links to the startups who pitched tonight and the panelists. Thank you, everyone, for attending our startup pitch battle.